Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, man, I'm going to talk about something today that's bugged me for a long time, and that is millennial hating. Man, there is so much millennial hating going on, and you know who you are. There are little pockets of you. This weekend, I was at a party with a lot of people my age, people in their early 40s, and they just started bagging on millennials. And here's some of the things that I hear people say about millennials. They probably won't say around you, millennials, but this is the kind of stuff we're hearing. They don't respect the way things should be. They block time off to learn about something and then show up and just say, well, tell me everything you know. Entitlement, such entitlement. Expecting that everything should be fed to them, not conforming to the rules. So let's get clear here on who we're talking about. For between 1980 and 2000, that makes them roughly 20 to 36 years old right now. Okay, so you're talking about 20 to 36 years old. I often wonder, are you talking about millennials? Are you just talking about the newest people in the workplace? Because really, do you have a lot of 34-year-olds showing up in your office, maybe have their first child, have started a family, and feel so entitled that you need to be handed everything? No, I suspect what you're talking about is a younger group of people, maybe a newer group to the workplace. Really, when you were 22, when you were 24, don't you think the people older than you were saying the same thing about you? These new young people that show up, oh, these young people showing up, messing with the system. I'm a music fan. I've always had a kick out of every generation, especially people that aren't kind of into music in general and just had their time in high school. No music's good anymore. It wasn't as good as that. It wasn't as good as back when I was a kid. Yeah, I think we're dealing with the same thing. You just want what you did and the way you did it to be the best. Millennials have surpassed boomers as the nation's largest living generation. So currently, millennials are about 75.4 million people in the population. Baby boomers now at 74.9 million. So another thing is this like grouping together. You're grouping together 75 million people. Many of them are over 30. This is who you're talking about. Also, more than 1 in 3 American workers today are millennials. 1 in 3 American workers are millennials. It's a large percentage of our workforce who've been doing amazing things in our workplace, in our workforce. I mean, think about how things have changed in the last 10 to 15 years. Our organizations, our speed, adaptability, right? Millennials, thank you. By 2025, millennials will make up 75% of working adults. 75%. So for people out there that are hating on millennials, get used to it. Because the program where you were going to be so overwhelmed and sitting there as grumpy old grumper Mr. Gen Xer guy, than dealing with the reality of what's happening. Less than 10 years away, 75% of the American workforce is going to be millennials. It is, and it is in a big way. You are the outsider. They're disruptive to the workplace. Why not? They've lived their entire lives in disruption. Think about what the world handed millennials, and they're so disruptive, right? This group was coming up, 9/11, Afghanistan war, Iraq war, complete disruption. And the world that we've handed millennials, what they've come up with, if you think back, is full of disruption. So are they disruptive to the system? Heck yeah, they are. Agility is the name of the game. Agile. I think agile is millennial. Agile means move quick, learn fast, pivot, go. Try something, don't make mistakes and keep going. And that's going to be our competitive advantage in this country. We are the first digital natives. Come on, again, like even from my generation, digital came along. We've gotten with it. These are digital natives. This is all they've known. The world's not going backwards. There is a lot of inherent knowledge in that group. They think social naturally. I talked to somebody that's a bit younger, and it just makes sense. But I'd say a little bit of empathy over there, right? So this group of people, millennials in general, have less money to spend than the prior generation, and also are saddled with a lot more debt. Education in this generation's lifetime has gotten way more expensive. They're coming out of school with a ton of debt, and that's how they're starting their careers, right? So are they ambitious? Do they want to get going? Do they want to earn money? Heck yeah, they do. They're working hard, and they want to get their piece of what they're seeing around them. All right, so you know what? Entitlement, maybe it's not going to go their way. That's another dose of life that happens to all of us, I think, along the way when we feel entitled to something. And sometimes life has to give us a couple blows. Just because somebody shows up and feels entitled doesn't make it so. So this group, they are healthier than we have been, exercise more, eating smarter, smoking less. That's good, and that's going to benefit society as a whole. Thank you, millennials. Poised and ready for economic disruption. This is a group, again, that is ready for this, and I think dealing with disruption, that's going to be a value in our society. It's something that we need to hold on to. And the final thing I thought was really interesting is that because of some of these situations and some of my research around wealth and money with this group, they've learned to be more resourceful around how they spend money, and they're buying fewer things, but they're learning how to be more economical with how they do things. So, I mean, I'll just read this. Not just homes, millennials have been reluctant to buy items such as cars, music, and luxury goods. Instead, they're turning to a new set of services that provide access to products without burdens of ownership, giving rise to what's being called the sharing economy, which we've heard about. However, think about it. This is a much better system in general around waste, around efficiency. So they're more efficient. They're using technology in a better way. We're moving fast. Again, I'm just going to summarize this. Stop hating on millennials. And at the end of the day, even if what I'm saying right now is not getting in your head, fine. You know what? It's going to be 75% of the working population. Don't find yourself on the other side of that equation. Not a good one, because you're going to be the outsider. What's going on, the changes that we're seeing in our organizations, the attitudes and opinions of the young people coming into our organizations are changing the world we work in. I know change is hard. You probably don't like it, but take a minute, learn a little bit more, figure out how to manage these people, or they're going to be managing you. All right, that's me. I still went too long. Thank you very much. Go Millennial.